Hi family, I celebrate you. Welcome to Pistis Hub. Pistis Hub YouTube channel is a platform where we upload thousands of messages just to build faith in the heart of men. As you watch this and as you share this video, your life will be blessed and transformed. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification button so you can get notified whenever we upload a video. Thank you so much.
How do you create wealth as a woman? First of all, you need to realize there is a pay gap between men and women, and it is not fair. A man and a woman will do the same job. They will pay the man 12 times, sometimes bigger than the woman. It is not fair. Societies still exist that are not allowing women to drive. It is not right. Up to now, women don't have voting rights in certain nations. For example, Saudi Arabia have just permitted women to drive and a few to vote. There has to be a shift, a difference. But women too need to come up and rise to the place where, without a spirit of rebellion, you're just taking charge of your world. Women don't seem to want to hear about money also sometimes. Some will give excuses like, I just want to take care of my children. I just want to be there for my family. Well, one of the ways to be there for your family is for you to take financial responsibility. Because you see, a lot of women spend more time being carers. They care and care and care for their children, their husband, and sometimes at their own expense. The woman is the first to wake, the last to sleep. Wake up, she takes care of the children, they go to school, she takes care of the husband's dinner before he goes to work, and she also goes to the same work, and they come back and she's perpetually the one standing everywhere. It's time for you as a woman to take charge. Take charge of your money. Listen to me, money is not complicated, but many are scared to think about money. As a woman, you need to do a paradigm shift. Whether you're single, married, whatever your marital status is, you need to have a good attitude towards money as a woman. First of all, if you have investment, number one, you need to ensure your investments. What do we mean? Ensure that whatever you have put into, for example, long-term investments, that they are properly insured and protected. So if companies go down, your money doesn't go down. Number two, make people pay you what you want because they need you. One of the toughest with earning salaries is women. A lot of women don't know how to negotiate. They're just glad they got that job. You must be able to ask yourself, what's my worth? Am I being paid what my worth is? And if you feel you are not being paid what your worth is, you walk away. You'll be amazed. They'll be the one coming to look for you because they need you. So learn the ability to negotiate for what you are worth. Stay with us in this series. We'll teach you how to negotiate from under earning to earning just right, to even making just the right kind of money for your status, your capacity, your delivery, your ability. Number three, don't have any debt. Indebtedness is one of the things that will wash away your wealth. It will wash away your monies. A lot of people don't realize. So they carry credit card debts and they don't realize if you carry credit card debts, it isn't just the percentage they announce to you, it is the annual percentage rate in the APR that makes it even worse. So it is compounded as it is moved on. Month by month, year by year that you didn't clear. If you use a credit card, pay it off immediately, or else don't use at all. Use a debit card. Then don't take student loans. If you took a student loan, hear me, particularly those of you who live in Europe and the United States of America, if you take a student loan, it's one of the worst loans on earth. Why? Because when you take a student loan, they don't tend to put you under too much pressure to pay. However, they are glad you took it. Because if you don't pay, it gets compounded. and compounded until 10,000 pounds became 20,000 pounds, became 40,000 pounds, became 60,000 pounds, became 80,000 pounds, became 100,000 pounds. And there's a small print on the day you signed when you were very young and naive, and you signed for that student loan. You didn't know that they had powers to come and take over everything you have. So one day they show up, if you have property, they took everything. Or made your employers to direct 75 to 80% of your income to them. Sometimes some of them wait until you are badly in debt. That's why you find some students who have left school and are now working. They are perpetually in debt for almost all of their life. Isn't it interesting to know that the President Barack Obama was still paying student loan in White House? Very interesting. What a world in which we live. Next thing is for you to build money into your future. How do you build money into your future? Attract it, invest it. Attract it, multiply it, compound it, invest, attract, invest, multiply, compound. Attract, invest, multiply, compound. What does that mean? You attract the money. How do you attract money? There are things you do that makes money to begin looking for you. If you're a person who is into wealth creation, money looks for you. Money is magnetic. So while you are looking for money and it comes, once it comes to you, see that money as seed. I've been a rice planter before. Rice doesn't come like the one on your table. It comes as seed. And it takes a lot of work to de-seed it. That's a new English word. To practically remove the husks, to clean it up, to parboil, and prepare it for you to be able to eat. So when money comes to you, it comes as seed. Quickly invest. When you invest, if profit comes, roll it. So you are compounding your interest. There's a difference between simple interest and compounded interest. Simple interest is just +1, +2%. Compounded interest is when the thing begins to multiply, and takes an exponential dimension. Number 5, do what is right with finance, not what is easy. You say, what does that mean? Don't do what is easy with money. Do what is right with money. It's very easy for me to collect my salary. If I am a salary earner, boom, spend. It's very easy. But do what is right. What is right is compounding the money, increasing its value, turning it to seed instead of rice to eat, turning it to seed to plant instead of rice to eat, compounding it. When I was a rice farmer, we had an experience. We brought into our farm harvesters to harvest the seed, but also we had a whole set of machine to now process it into edible rice. Then it just occurred to me, I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to sell the seed to those who will multiply the seed. Behave like I've just done. Take your income and turn it to a seed you multiplied as a woman. And even if you're a man and you're watching this, it applies, male or female. Number 5, be generous with yourself and others. Give respect to yourself, woman. Before you worry too much about how much you need to spend for relations, friends, brothers, sisters, your church, your charity, your children, treat yourself well. Bless yourself. Come alive again with your money. Enjoy being alive. If anyone has an offense with that, that's their issue. You worked for it. Give yourself a life. Look good, smell good, feel good with the money you created. Then, number 7, write the first check to yourself. Money came in. Write the first check to yourself and say, this is for me. If you're not buying clothes, you're not buying shoes, you're not buying anything this month, If you put it in investment, it's still you, it's still in your name. You are still making it good for yourself. Then you can pay others. Next point is teach your children by only providing what you can afford. Did you know that some of the money habits you and I have, we saw it at home? We observed dad and mom. Unless you broke the jinx. When I was a little kid, my parents never had enough. So my dad made us form a habit. The corner shop, we bought sugar, we bought milk, we bought bread on credit before my father's salary at the end of the month. By the time he collected, you branched there first to clear the debt because he was clearing his name. The downside to it was that we never had enough. I'm not sure you would bought things we couldn't afford. But if you are doing that, you are teaching your children something. You see, that action of my father became a habit I guess my siblings may have carried. Maybe I had the privilege of being able to see it and know that I should not get into the book me down syndrome. Teach your children only what you can afford. One of the reasons I will ever bless my sons is because when they were young and kids around them were wearing designer trainers, shoes, clothes to school, they didn't mind that I was only buying from some, we had some Indian, Pakistani shops down Liverpool Street, Aldergate East in London, where when I showed up with 20 pounds, I'll carry a bag load of clothes for children, just 20 pounds, which they didn't even buy socks from designer shops. Those boys were resilient. I could do anything for them today that I can afford it. Next point, of course, is that you must make yourself indispensable. When you begin to create wealth, let people need you. Be number one in anything you are called to do. Let your company be the one people think of anytime they want to do something in your chosen field. That will make money flow to you. Be number one. Be indispensable. Protect your dream, protect your life, protect your wealth, protect your work by being indispensable. Then take action with your life. Don't wait for answers. Don't wait for others to fix you. Fix yourself. Fix your dream. You made a mistake. Don't sit down there beating yourself. Pick yourself up. Look for the solutions. Humble yourself. If you have to learn from someone younger to make your wealth happen, make it happen. And lastly, for this session, keep your eyes on who you want to become. Who would you like to become? I like you to be financially independent, financially buoyant, financially wealthy, a strong, wealthy woman who is doing very well. Unfortunately, many women are not getting rich because they think that being rich means you are some kind of, forgive the English, snobbish, ruthless girl who made the money. And that's not true. How can there be such multiple number of women and yet such a tiny fraction of women are wealthy? You see, 49.5% of the world's population are women. And yet when you look at the 3,000 billionaires on earth, less than 500 are women. And of all the women, a larger portion who even are inherited the money. It's time for a woman to take charge and realize that she can create wealth. So let's deal with some of the statements women make, which holds them in a place that makes them to be able to create wealth. Because you see, as a man thinks, so is he. Your talk and your think determine your thrust. Your talk and your think determine your thrust in life. Women make statements like, number one, I'm just no good with money. Listen, my dear friend, there are many things we are no good with, but we can learn. Have you ever flown in a plane and the pilot took off safely, landed safely? Did you know he was no good with the plane before? Did you ever enter a train and the train took off safely, landed safely? Did you know that the train driver was no good before? Or a car? I'm sure we all have stories when we learned to drive. Later we became good with driving. There's so many things you were no good with, but later you learned how to be good with. Money habits can be unlearned and learned. So you can unlearn the bad ones and learn the new ones. The second statement many people make is, I've reached the limit of my earning potential. Says who? How much have you earned? And is it because you are now a certain age, probably 45, 50, 60? Did you know that one of the wealthiest men on earth, Warren Buffett, really didn't have exponential wealth until he was over 50? Possibly because of the way he created his wealth, which is through the stock market. And that did not happen until there is a compounding over years from the monies he invested in the 60s. So you are never too old, and even if you are in your 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, there is a lot of good you can do with the money. You can build hospitals, change lives, make a difference, impact your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and even the ones that you don't know of. You can touch people in nations of the earth. You can put a roof over families. Some will come up with another statement. I'm doing great. It will be greedy to want more. That statement comes from the habit and the attitude we pick from Hollywood. The majority of films in Hollywood knock money. However, the guys who produce the film are themselves extremely wealthy. The bigger the film, the greater the cost, the more they paid the actor who was probably chosen to act as a poor person. I cannot forget hearing the story of a young man who heard a musician play the song and celebrated poverty so much. The boy became so enthralled with this artist. He bought a ticket to go look for the artist. He went to the studio of the recording company. They told him, sorry, you can't see the artist. He insisted. They finally gave him the address. They knew what challenge he would meet. This young man set out to go look for the artist who sang about poverty. It's actually a movie also that I saw. It's actually a movie and a story I heard. Only to get to the gate of the movie star's house who sang that song. The guy's house is a gated house. The house is a mile away and the gate is here. The guy lives on a land that is a mile long. The boy was in shock to find that this guy who so celebrated poverty did not even have the experience. So don't let anyone lie to you and make you feel like you are being greedy for wanting to have more. You make a difference when you have more. You give somebody's child a future, education. You are able to wipe tears. You are able to pay off somebody's bills. Let me say another point. Somebody will say, oh, I should be earning more, but I'm afraid it will cost too much in terms of my health and in terms of my relationship. It depends. Maybe all they've taught you is hands-on work. And that's why you thought, before I can make more money, yet I have to lose my health and my relationships. Haven't you heard about passive income? In fact, passive income is more powerful than real hands-on income, because passive income is money income while you are not leaving home. You bought shares and stocks, it is multiplying in value without you doing anything. You bought a land in the highly commercial area, it's increasing in value while you did nothing. You owned real estate, it's increasing in value while you did nothing. So wealth can be created without you damaging your health. In fact, nothing else damages the health than like lack and poverty. Because when you lack, it makes you work harder and work more. That's another statement. Some will say, my partner takes care of all money. He takes care of it. I don't have to sweat the small stuff. That may be a great statement to make, but there is a fulfillment in you as a woman making the wealth and being able to determine something about your own money, something that belongs to you. A money you are able to sit down and say, this is mine, I own this, I made this, I want to make a difference with it. The next statement, I'm just afraid to even look at my finances. So a good number of women don't even check. They've never read their bank statement. They don't know if someone is stealing from them. They've never checked. They didn't realize that in these days, when all kinds of information is needed about you, your PIN number, some nations take your biometrics, which is really very dangerous. They take your biometrics before you can open a bank account. When you tell yourself, I'm afraid to look at my finances, how would you know if you are doing well? How would you know if you are not spending more than you are earning? To create wealth, you have to be interested in the place where every penny goes, so that it is going where it is increasing. The next statement some make is, I wish I could just win the lottery. And no sweat, then there will be loads of money. Well, the truth about lottery is that it's large money which came without a habit system to manage it. And if you've ever read my book, 33 irrevocable laws of wealth creation, if you want the book, we can give you the more details about it. Make sure you leave your comment, and you can then buy it from Amazon. In the book, I cited several stories of people who made so much money through the lottery, as much as $25 million, $35 million, $7 million, but today they are broke. Yeah, sounds almost unimaginable. How can a person have $10 million and then later be broke? You see, because they did not know that money is like water flowing. If you don't have a reservoir and a method for multiplying it, it will all flow away one day. Would you believe that a man like Mike Tyson made $360 million and today he is broke? Would you believe that a man like MC Hammer, Can't Touch This, his song, made close to $100 million and declared bankruptcy? Because you see, they probably had the magnetism to attract the money, but they did not have the knowledge to multiply it, so that once it is multiplied, it stays. They didn't know how to keep it. They only knew how to attract it. And once you attract money, it's like a smelly thing in the bush. It attracts everything, flies, all sorts. When you have wealth without direction, you will attract all kinds of people, the good, the bad, the ugly, the in-between. The next statement some people make is, money just isn't that important to me. Well, let me ask you, what's important to you? Because if money is not important to you, if you say, oh, the only thing important to me is charity work, how would you do charity work? How would you touch lives? How would you give people homes? How would you give people lives? I cannot forget during the tsunami that hit Asia, our church provided money that built home for about 52 families. 52 families in Sri Lanka had a roof over their head because of monies provided by our church. Is that important or not? That money was important. Our church became responsible for digging 36 wells in Africa. Is that money important or not? It is important. I have, for 13 years, provided food, clothes, and money for thousands of widows. And the last year, the 13th year, we had 23,000 widows. That's a lot of women to have to handle in one day. We gave them clothes, brand new clothes, money, and food. The women were overwhelmed. Some of them came for all the 13 years. And they boasted of all the clothes we've given them every year, that it was their best. Some other woman will say, I have a good life, and I'm just happy with what I have. Well, you may have a good life with what you have, but you see, that sounds selfish to me. You are called to be a blessing, and you are supposed to touch lives. So when it's all about just you and your own good life, you haven't lived. Sorry to say. For you to really have a good life, you need to be able to touch people. For somebody somewhere to be able to say, that woman, she clothed me, she paid my school fee, she helped me to rise, she gave me wings to fly. That's when you have lived a good life. It's not the number of days you live, it's the life you give and what you be. Lastly, in this session, some will say I'm smart, but I just can't seem to break through to the next level. That's where you need to now realize that you need to make a difference. You need to change the way you look at finance. You need to begin to believe that, look, I am supposed to get wealthy. I'm supposed to become rich so I can make a difference, so I can touch my world. How do you do this? In summary, in this session, let's say, number one, set big money goals and achieve them. Not the one full of fear and panic, but a big money goal, and work on yourself for the next level. I want you to know it's real fun when you begin to make money. And fun also when you spend it without having to second guess, oh my God, I hope this is not going to get us in trouble. I hope that's enough. When you have enough, then surround yourself with other women, not gossips, not the one who are chitty-chatty, but strong, powerful women who are making money, who are making a difference, who smell good, look good, feel good like yourself. Women who are not having to do the cheap all the time, can't take a cab, always have to take some drabby old bus all the time. They're so afraid of going broke. You need to develop an abundance mentality. I do hope today's teaching has helped you. I do hope today's teaching has really stretched your mind. Please let me know. In this series we are doing on women and money, we want you to be able to get all that you can. Challenge other women to watch my video, leave comments, and if there are subjects that you want me to treat that has to do with women and in the area of finance, let me know. Until then, always remember we're here to teach you to make, manage, multiply money. God bless.